don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together. And let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket, sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arens and Derek Pearson.
11:02 in Lincoln, 38 degrees. 38 is what it says.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Currently, well, then if you change apps, it says 34. Raining. Temperature tomorrow noon will hit 32, which is where a percentage of snow will linger around 20% most of the day tomorrow. So who knows? Rain, temperature drops below. Then, of course, late night as the temperature drops to 18, 19, that number is a different number.
It's not terrible yet. I can still get to my car without just.
Well, you can do it Saturday. I'm okay with it on a Saturday.
Yeah, it can snow tomorrow.
I'm okay with it snowing. Well, I want to go watch tennis tomorrow.
Oh, that's 6
indoors
o'clock, though.
6 o'clock indoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting there and people.
Yeah, I get that part.
And then somebody you have to coordinate. Somebody has to be around for Ridge to do the wrestling post match.
That's right.
So there's that.
They're on the road for Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think there is high school basketball tomorrow.
Yes, there is high school hoops tomorrow.
Right. So
Officially.
after that game, it should be, and it's a big night in Big Ten wrestling tomorrow. Huge night. Huge.
What's all going on? Obviously, you got Nebraska versus Minnesota.
Oh no, that's not even. You got that's 5 versus 9, but 1 versus 4. It's Penn State at Iowa. Yeah.
Who do you root for?
So 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Penn State, Iowa. 8 o'clock. Huskers. Gophers.
That is a good week right there.
That's a night.
Yeah.
That is 4 hours of scrap.
How do you watch the Penn State Iowa? Are you just angry at both of them the whole time?
Well, it's such a great matchup.
It is a good matchup.
I mean, it's what the Big Ten does. Now, all of the meets will get bigger along the way because Nebraska Iowa is still in the docket. Nebraska Penn State still in the docket. Ohio State Penn State, which will be 1 versus 2, I would imagine. Right, I would imagine that it's 1 versus 2. Right.
Yeah.
Unless Iowa does something tomorrow, but the matchups aren't. The matchup when you look at Iowa's lineup, it doesn't match up well with Penn State. That was the thing that jumped out to me was looking at tomorrow night's projected lineups. I was like, okay, let me go through. Let me see what how likely this is. How could this go down? But then you realize pretty quickly that Penn State has 6 number 1s in the country. they have 6 number 1s in the country, and you just go, they're not going into any meet this year not favored.
Yeah, not favored by a lot.
Right, like it's that they're going to be favored to win 6 out of the 10 matches, and really competitive in 3 of the other 4. So, yeah. And Iowa has some folks. So here's the gauntlet. And in it, listen, y'all better listen. Number 9 Minnesota tomorrow. The next Friday, here in Lincoln.
Hawkeyes. Yeah, this is a stretch right here. And after the Hawkeyes, DP?
2 days later.
Oh, it's 2 days later. That's even worse than I thought.
Sunday.
Oh my Lord.
Sunday. I was going to go to DC, but I don't think I can do that with Iowa and then Ohio State. Oh, and just for grins and giggles.
On the road, too, this next one, I think. 5
days later, you go to Penn State.
Yeah.
So in those 8 days, 7 days, so from the 23rd to the 30th, Iowa, Ohio State, Penn State.
The Iowa-Ohio State, I did not realize that was a quick same weekend, 2-day turnaround.
Ohio State, Penn State. That's no different than Ohio State, Oklahoma State back to back.
No, that's tough. I mean, they're going to be facing top 10 opponents and majority top 5 in majority of these matches coming up.
In all 3 of those matches, even in this one, everything's top 20. Everybody in Minnesota's top 20.
Big Ten, you're going to get that. For most, there's going to be very seldom that you don't get some of those Big Ten schools with at very least top 10, top 20 guys.
Yeah, I went through some of the lineups for tomorrow, and the projection is this, so it gives you some idea of what's in play. Let's see here. Let me pull this up for you. And currently, they have Nebraska at 6 and Minnesota at 7. Not 9. They have them at 7.
Okay.
Let's see. Flow Wrestling has Huskers at. They have Minnesota at 6 and Huskers at 9.
Flow Wrestling. Okay.
So there's some different.
So we can decide some stuff this weekend.
Well, I mean, it's a little weird all over the place. And I'm not real sure. No, that was last year. My bad. Okay, I was going to say, but which also tells the story of how far they went. Last year, the Huskers.
Yeah, that's a good point. They were 9 at that point.
That they knocked off Minnesota 24-6 last year. 24-6.
And obviously not favored in that whatsoever.
Right. That's kind of the play, right? And this was on a night where let's see. They did pretty well. There's some pretty good matchups. So I don't know, man. This is where it gets really I knew this was happening, but I just didn't know it was going to happen
like that.
3 consecutive matches.
I knew it's consecutive. It's the turnarounds. I mean, these are matches where we saw what it looked like when those guys were at the national duels and how grueling that is on the body and how many injuries. And not just Nebraska, a lot of teams throughout that, losing guys left and right.
Can I tell? I'll tell you that story of going to the Big Ten tournament, which was my first Big Ten tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the one that was here at PBA.
Yeah. That was
but
4 years ago.
Yeah, but that was COVID year.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But I was watching that with different eyes, right? Kind of a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
I really was there. I didn't know what to look for with Nebraska. I knew certain names. I knew to look for Ridge and the like, but I didn't know the backstories and et cetera. And then last year in Vegas for the early season tournament, you start to get some idea of the personalities and cultures and who's doing what and how this looks. And it enlightened me to, that looks different.
When was the first time you met Coach Manning? Like actually talked to him?
That's
because he kind of sells you right away with his personality. You kind of just, I don't know. At least for me, I was like, I get it.
Well, he came in. He actually came in. I reached out and he came in. I want to say once we were here. I don't think it was before.
He seems like one of the first guys in the door at this new station.
I don't think that it was. It may have been at the old station. I know Klempa would go to the old station. Harvell would go to the old station.
I think I did see
Buzzy.
Coach Mark Manning at the old
Manning
station.
may have been at the old stadium, and then when we got down here, but one day he came in for coffee. We just sat and talked, and we kind of recognized we were boys. Like there was some commonality.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more we talked, and it's like Anthony Smith. We talked for 2 years trying to get the show concepts together. And I have to have endurance in these relationships. I have to outlast their doubts, fears, concerns. Right?
Uh-huh.
You have to show them not only on day 1, but you have to show them on day 400. Are you the same person on a regular basis? And that's
a real question right there.
With Cobalt and Herman and Harvell, like it's all those things. They want to see you. And are you being that consistent with them? Are you that way all the time? And then the fact that going to Vegas, I want to say I was in Vegas for UFC. So it worked out that Nebraska was wrestling there. But they went out of their way to be open to me and inclusive.
Well, hell, you're the only media guy.
Yeah.
Get him in the room.
Yeah,
Get someone to cover us.
That was true. Well, but to show up.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And Vegas is such a big, grand thing. You're in this big convention room, and there's, I want to say, 8 matches at a time, maybe 10. Yeah, 4.
I think it's usually just 8.
No, 6 at a time.
Okay, yeah.
6 at a time.
10's too much.
But 2 of them were elevated in the middle of the room, and then 2 on either side. And then you would get rotations. So it was interesting to watch how they managed having multiple wrestlers go at the same time. And this is a pretty big tournament. So there's match after match after match after match. And the first time you watch a match up close, knowing who the people are, there is a mental and a physical fatigue that happens.
I was first with North Carolina. That was the closest I've ever been by far.
But you realize how often, like, you're wrestling with them.
Well,
like
shout out to elevated platform. Nice.
Right.
Absolutely nice touch. Because you
see
a lot more and you do feel for them.
and you clinch with them and you lock up. You lock up, and then at a home meet, you're doing that for 10 matches. At a tournament, you're doing that for 10 times how many ever rounds it is.
Mm-hmm.
And Nebraska was late in the dance, so they still had wrestlers, in the championship round. So I want to say they had 5 at that tournament. I mean, go shout out Lenny Pinto and company.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. But the fact that I hung it out, and then that night, the tournament ended, and I was covering UFC, so I went, and this was a championship card at T-Mobile, and it was one of the ones where I had a seat on the aisle, and this guy taps me on the shoulder, and I thought it was like Anthony, but it was Caleb. It was Caleb, Lenny Pinto, Bubba Wilson, Silas Arens.
You guys, I didn't hear this story. You met him at UFC.
Who were going to UFC. They were going, like,
I know they're big UFC fans, yeah.
Right? And they go, and so the UFC will give me a care package. And so I went down and asked the guy, hey, they gave me like a pullover, a hoodie, some other stuff. And I was like, hey, can I swap this stuff for some other stuff? And the guy was like, sure. Here's the value. Here's what you can spend. And so I got him 4 UFC skull caps, red, right? And 4 UFC red t-shirts.
Which is nice, because UFC gear is always pretty awesome.
Right. So, and they were thrilled, and we were watching the same space. And then going to Big Ten, which was, man, what a war zone that is. I'm trying to remember whether it was Indy or Chicago. Probably Indy.
I don't remember it being in Chicago. I can double check.
Yeah, maybe Minneapolis. But for whatever reason, I was fully intrigued by the number of fans from the various schools. And that Penn State certainly, it was a home meet for Penn State, even if it wasn't a home meet. Penn State, Iowa, Ohio State.
So here's the order, real quick. So jog the memory. So 2025 is going to be in Evanston. It was in 2024.
Yeah, it was at Northwestern last year. That's where.
Yeah, Northwestern. And 2 years ago, it was in Maryland, College Park.
Yeah. So last year it was at Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was interesting, and that Northwestern is not a wrestling school per se. But the town did a really good job, and it was really easy to get in and get out of. Right, the traffic wasn't terrible for Chicago and Evanston, Illinois. The hotels were fantastic. In my hotel, it was crazy number of Penn State and Iowa fans.
Where is that the same place where they play basketball? They set it up?
Ryan something.
Yeah, Welsh Ryan Arena.
Welsh Ryan Arena. Yeah. Nice arena. But I spent most of the time, so they set me up with the team. And so they have this aux gym, this auxiliary gym.
Auxiliary, yeah.
I never get that right. But each team they have the 4 wrestling mats spread out for people to warm up and get their work in. But then there's private areas off to the side for each team. And there's snacks and water and fruit, some guys go in there and sleep. Some guys go in there to get more cardio, to weight cut. And the weight cut is constant.
Mm-hmm.
It is constant for a tournament, for a 4-day tournament. There's constant weight cut, which I didn't know. And so you try to stay out of the way. And then, of course, last year, Gable Stevenson walks in, and of course now it's Hollywood, right? And it's a big production. And you're watching him put in work, and it's pretty amazing. And then going to Philly, I didn't really know what to expect, quite frankly. But Manning had set it up that I was going to be included and involved. And what I understood was he said, "Hey, we're going to go to dinner as soon as you land." And we went to this Italian restaurant. Of course, these are Matt Rule's people because you're in Philly, right? So the Penn State folks that he knew, and a lot of the conversation was just exceptional. And day one, so the Huskers, I want to say they lost 2 of the first 3.
They struggled early on. I can tell you exactly, but it was a struggle early.
Yeah, and it was an interesting thing because that wasn't the ideal. I mean, I want to say Caleb struggled, Van D struggled early, and then Brock and Ridge kind of reset the tone.
Yeah, I know Caleb, sure, because his blood temperature still rises when you mention it.
Right. And then after, because Cam lost in the first round, and maybe no, not Silas. But the big thing was the history. What do we have going on out here? That doesn't look good at all.
That's what I'm saying. Is that the second lap?
Yeah,
like I'm seeing the same people.
Yeah, no, they parked the car.
I just saw a twin.
They parked the car. Yeah, she went back. She went back to the car to get them.
Shorts are an interesting choice. I'll say that much.
Well, 32 degrees, 33 degrees. But yeah, watching them adjust and then go on this epic run of just win after win after win after win, and you could hear the place just kind of go, "Wait a minute, what's happening?"
Well, it was like Brock Hardy, Silas Allred, Ridge, love it. And
well,
it was just match after match.
The people who were supposed to win, but then the people who had lost then went on heaters.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. So you got to remember that Brock, Ridge, Trelly made the finals, and I want to say Minto was just one move away.
Yeah, and he came back in 1/3, didn't he?
Fifth.
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't want to misspeak.
Fifth, maybe.
Yeah.
But watching it happen, right? Just it was mind blowing. But think about it. I think they had 40 plus matches, and everyone was just jaw clenching tight. And so it was interesting just to go through the process and then be in the back and be around it, and amazed at the end of day one, the Huskers were the talk of the tournament. At the end of day two, the Huskers were the talk of the tournament. And at the end of day 3, even though Penn State won, the Huskers were the talk of the tournament. Like we went back to the hotel, Penn State fans, Iowa fans, Ohio State fans were all like, "Man, this is really impressive. You guys had a run." That was really fun to watch. Because they started to root for Nebraska more than Penn State, which was that thing, right? So,
yeah, and I had to look it up because I wanted to see. So Caleb Smith, he won the first one, and then he would lose the next day, and then he'd be back, and he'd beat the number 16 wrestler. Then he'd go pull an upset, beat the number 6 wrestler. Then he'd go, and then he got to that next round, lost to the number 2 wrestler, Ramos.
Yeah.
And then Ramos would end up pulling away for 3rd place.
Yeah, it was, and again,
and he was a 9 seed, just to prove out the point that, like, even though he didn't win it, he was still carving out upsets left and right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's the dog. Everyone here's the dog, to be fair.
To finish up on the podium, for all of them. And the biggest, watching Minto become Minto, and then watching Cam become Cam, because to say that those were expected, and then Van D to pull it off and get All-America status was crazy. So what you'll get tomorrow at 125, AK will be the underdog to Jory Volk, who's the number 9 seed at 125. Van D will be favored at 133. Brock Hardy is a 3 rank going against Bombauer, who is a pro and epic, and it'll be a grind, but he's ranked at number 10. So it's 3 versus 10 in that weight class. Chance Lambert comes into it ranked anywhere from 12 to 14, depending on where it is.
But he just looks good since Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and he will face Drew Roberts, who's top 25. At 157, they have Charlie Millard, who comes in top 20 against Antrell Taylor, who's top 5. LJ, and I'm going to have to go back and learn how he pronounces his last name.
Yeah, people say Arujo, but I don't know if that's right.
Arujo.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than how you might think.
Yeah, it's a little different. But he's ranked number 8 at 165. He'll take on number 11, Andrew Sparks. So that's going to be a brawl. Number 6, Christopher Minto at 174. He will be favored against Ethan Riddle, who comes in at number 22.
He's been one of my fan favorites to watch.
Minto, the evolution of Mr. Minto is
filled out.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. At 184, you're gonna have a brawl. Silas already will take on number 3, Max McAnally. You're gonna have that's gonna be a brawl. Cam McDaniel will come in at number 12. He will face number 24, Gavin Nelson. And then AJ Ferrari's at number 4, and he will take on number 10, Coy Hopkins, which will be a brawl, but I think they're familiar as well. So Nebraska will be favored in 7 of the 10, with or 6 of the 10, with a couple of catch-bees in that. And Minnesota will be definitely favored at 125.
Yeah, who's their 125? You said, what was he ranked?
Volk is number 9.
Okay, that's gonna be. We'll see.
Von Bauer. If Von Bauer wins, you're never really surprised, but it's Brock Hardy, so you don't expect him to.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks is legit at 165. Watched him last year. McAnally at 184. He and Silas know each other. That's a backyard brawl. Gavin Nelson, they projected him moving up in rankings to be higher than 24. Cam was made All-America last year.
Mm-hmm.
Currently at 12. I think if Cam gets on the run, he's going to finish top 5, top 6 this year in that wake, which is tough.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is tough, but we're going to find out next.
That's what I'm saying. There's going to be a spread here for all these guys.
Yeah, you're going to find out a lot of things in the next 4 weeks.
Kohler, if he balls out at 125, who knows where he ends up?
I don't know. There's a Hastings Invitational that several of the reserve Huskers are going to. Lauritsen is wrestling at Hastings this weekend. I don't know that he's making the trip because I think he's going to wrestle at Hastings. There's a Hastings Invitational.
Yeah, I saw.
I don't know. 4 or 5 of the Huskers are going to go. So it'll be a good wrestling week. We'll go to break. We'll come back. I mean, I do want to talk about this Penn State, Iowa projected lineup, and then down the rabbit hole, talk about sports betting.
Yeah, I want to.
And it has some deep history. It has some deep history and some names that we may or may not have forgotten were involved in betting scandals in sports. So we will talk about that as well. We'll be back to late night.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyk Farm Outfitters. With the holidays behind us, our team is already looking ahead to the 2026 season. And to help you get ready, we're hosting our 2nd annual expo at our location near Exeter, January 27th. The expo covers 8 topics that matter to your farm. We'll discuss fungicides in heavy disease environments, liquid systems for your planter and how to choose the right one, how Washington is viewing important ag topics, and much more. Don't forget to stick around afterwards for the happy hour. Check out BoykFarmOutfitters.com for more info, and we'll see you there.
Hi, this is Doug Keller. When I started my first little body shop in Eustis back in 1979, I never dreamed it would grow to 8 locations and over 100 employees in Nebraska. I knew then, as I know now, that if you treat people right, they will keep coming back and also send their friends, which is why our tagline is, where our customers send their friends. I guess there are many things in life that change, but the golden rule never does.
The most recommended Eustis Body Shop. That's who we are.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arens and Derek Pearson.
Welcome back. Yeah, we'll go through. This was crazy. It is when betting stories pop up, and they tend to from time to time. And, the recent story, the number of
39 players, 17 teams is what they listed.
Right?
Division I teams, we're talking.
Right.
And they're going after the Kent States, the North Texas AET, and they're going for
Abilene Christian. Well, small fish lead to big fish.
Yeah, my theory is you go get the guys that aren't getting a ton of money in NIL, that you can sway them with money a lot easier in games that.
Not really.
Okay, give me your thoughts.
Not really. Case in point. Let me give you a case in point back in time. If you go through the history of players who have been through some real gambling problems, a name that pops to mind is Art Schlichter. And Art Schlichter, so he was the 4th overall pick in the 82 draft. So it was 1982 by the Colts. And then the Colts were in, I didn't know that they were still in Baltimore. But they were drafted by the Colts. He was drafted by the Colts out of Ohio State. He was a 4-year starter at quarterback at Ohio State. So if that gives you some idea about the depth of how good he was.
Especially in that era.
in that era. He was brought in. He was drafted to replace Burt Jones, who was a MVP quarterback who he was constantly hurt. He was he may have been the most talented quarterback in the 70s, but he was always hurt. As a matter of fact, so much so that his nickname became Burt Always Hurt Jones. Yeah, and it became a thing. Schleister played for Woody Hayes. Hayes was so enthralled by the young quarterback that he was willing to get rid of the 3 yards in cloud of dust that Ohio State was known for. Which allowed Schleister to throw 25 times a game. But Schleister, here's a piece for you. Schleister threw the interception that led to Woody Hayes punching Clemson's linebacker Charlie Bauman in the throat in the 78 Gator Bowl. It so upset the legendary coach Woody Hayes that he
hit a throat punch.
He throat punched a linebacker for the Clemson Tigers, and that led to the end of that career. That was the end of a legend.
Oh
sir.
my Lord! I mean, that's a way to go out. Throat punch your way
you're
out.
the guy. You're the guy. You're the guy that ended that.
I'll respect him more for it. I don't know if I should though.
No,
that's crazy.
Well, we didn't know how to process it because I had never seen it, and it was on national TV because it was Ohio State Clemson.
Oh man!
And literally, it's on the Ohio State sideline. And
you guys were spoiled. Me and Raph talked about it. You got the amount of just crazy game headlines that you guys saw.
Well, y'all have crazy headlines. The problem is that you have a 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, there's that. Well, and also I don't think if there's the fog game,
there's no
television, they're going to move that
internet,
game.
There's no internet. There's no we didn't have that in 1979. We didn't
so just
have
think
that.
money matters more. Like if you have certain games like the fog game, no way ABC is going to air that. They're like, you guys move this game.
Oh no, they would have aired it. It
Really?
made for great television.
I guess you got a point there.
You
Yeah,
can
you're
find
right.
the actual CBS broadcast. It's available online. You can find it on YouTube.
I'll watch the fog game.
Yeah,
that'd be good to go to bed.
Oh,
to.
absolutely worth it. So, Schleister finished in the top 6 of Heisman Trophy balloting in 3 of his 4 years at Ohio State. During his college career, he was frequently spotted at prominent gambling locations. Columbus and Ohio State University police departments became very suspicious, but the athletic department felt it lacked enough evidence to notify the NCAA. Shocker. By the end of his junior year,
Wait, you said that was the local police?
Ohio State and
that
Columbus.
didn't find enough evidence.
Yeah. By the end of his junior year at Ohio State, he had lost thousands of dollars gambling on college and professional sports. On several occasions, he was seen betting with Woody Hayes' successor, Earl Bruce, at the gambling spots.
Nice.
Hey, Ohio State, way to go. Way to go. You knew.
Yeah, they definitely knew.
You knew. He was picked 4th in the draft by the Colts, who were then in Baltimore. But he lost the job to Mike Pagel. And when I tell you, Mike Pagel is the graham cracker of NFL quarterbacks.
What does that mean?
He is the what is the most basic sandwich you can think of?
Peanut butter sandwich. No jelly.
He's not even peanut butter and jelly. He is
just peanut butter.
No, that's too good.
Okay.
He is a jelly sandwich.
Okay.
He's a jelly sandwich.
Like, yeah, it works, but what are we doing here?
Yeah, what do we got to make better decisions. Right? It's just like the sandwich that you just, no. He is Vienna sausage on bread.
Oh, that. Perfect. I got a question for those people.
Yeah. Schleister's gambling continued unabated. Now, he lost a job. Here's where the story gets really good. It was so unabated that he blew his entire $350,000 signing bonus by mid-season. Gone. Gone.
Man, that is losing just about every bet and doubling down on the next one.
Even before the Colts picked him, he already owed bookies several $1,000s. Now, when I joke about how bad the Colts are at picking quarterbacks,
case one,
the worst.
It's tough one.
They are in a long line of they and the Cleveland Browns really just fight each other at picking. Like, oh, hold my beer. You picked Art Schlichter and Mike Pagel in the same year.
Well, maybe that's why the Browns did what they did. And they're like, we'll just get two. We'll get two on Inchador. One of these has got to work out.
We'll get 2 crap sandwiches. One of them will be digestible, is what we're going to do. Pagel was from Arizona State. I need to know what Pagel's.
The Colts had to know about the gambling, right? Isn't there an interview process where you would try to uncover that?
The Ohio State knew. Pagel as a starter. Ready for this? This is what I tell you. Mike Pagel had a record of 17 wins, 36 losses. He threw 49 touchdowns and 63 interceptions.
Yeah, Pagel.
That is Mike.
Keep slinging.
That is Mike freaking Pagel.
You know, I'd throw that more interceptions if I was worried about.
And
7
somehow
bookies calling me.
But in one of the great upsets of all time, he somehow managed to stay in the league for 12 years.
He just must have been an awesome hang.
Now, mind you, he went from the Colts to drum roll.
The Browns. You set that up to say the Browns. And these guys are the worst at drafting quarterbacks.
Chef's good. Chef's. Mwah! Mwah!
The Browns repeat history all the time.
Oh,
because they did the same thing in my generation with Watson.
Bruh. Just when I tell you, seriously, that is remarkable. How do you
take the flyer on him after that?
Hey, and here's the other thing. So his gambling spiraled so out of control that during the 1982 NFL strike, he lost $20,000 betting on college football.
He just knew avenue.
Oh, let's just spread it out. By the end of the strike, which
Lord.
I think was a month, he had at least $700,000 in gambling debts.
How do you? That's like
at 20 a week. He kept doubling down.
I don't know.
And kept losing.
That's like the best thing could have happened. That's like a alcoholic getting all the alcohol taken out of his house, and they find a way to get high off of Germax.
Oh, they give him a job as a beer truck driver.
This is unreal.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? $700,000 in gambling debt. He says, it was from like most gamblers, that he says his massive debt stemmed from desperate efforts to make good on his previous losses. After losing $20,000 in the first week, he doubled up next week and again, and starting a cycle that continued for a full year.
You get a better deal on like a pay advance at this point, buddy.
In the winter of 1982, the spring of 1983, Schlichter lost $489,000 on basketball. He was
just basketball.
Just basketball.
Oh my Lord.
Just basketball. When bookies threatened to harm or expose him if he did not pay up, the NFL, like most major league teams, forbade players from engaging in that kind of thing. He went to the FBI in March of 1983 and gave information that helped get the bookies arrested on federal charges. Again, just make it worse. Just make it worse. The league suspended him indefinitely. Pete Rozelle reduced suspension to 13 months after Schlichter agreed to seek treatment for gambling addiction. He was the first NFL player suspended for gambling. Ready for this? Since the great Alex Karras and the Golden Boy Paul Hornung in 1963.
Who were also about Paul Hornung?
Paul Hornung was a dude. Paul Hornung, and there is a full story behind that. So let me jump over to Paul Hornung.
First time I'm hearing.
Again, at Notre Dame, Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he was, the best player in the country. Went to the Green Bay Packers. Was all NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He also played basketball at Notre Dame. Played football and basketball at Notre Dame. And he had to drop basketball to help keep his grades up. He raced Jim Brown, John Brody, Lynn Dawson. They were all hanging out just for fun. And Hornig won. They did a 100-yard race. Hornig won it by 5 yards. He goes to Green Bay Packers. Of course, he's playing for Lombardi in that space. But then they get to the off the field section of his life. He served in the Army. Ready for this? Another thing that you did not know, right? That he was in the Army and was called to active duty during the 1961 season. But he was able to get weekend passes to play on Sundays because Vince Lombardi was a friend of President Kennedy. And a pass was arranged so Hornick could play in the NFL championship game against the New York Giants while on active duty in the U.S. Army.
What a run.
Oh, yeah. And but he was renowned for hanging out with notorious gangsters and gamblers. They tracked him. They suspended him for the year. He was upfront, forthcoming about it. One of the first known cases of CTE.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you a lot of these guys spiraled out.
Yeah,
because of that.
Well, it was a big deal. I mean, he lived a long time, but it was.
But it'll impact their decision making.
Yeah,
it started getting all those blows.
Well, I mean, he was a party boy, and he was even before Joe Namath. Paul Hornig was the Bachelor. Handsome boy. Imagine what's the guy? Johnny Rocket. Who's the animated guy? Johnny Bravo.
Oh, Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
That was Paul Hornig.
Okay.
That was Paul Hornig. And the women loved him. He had money. He had looks. Great athlete. He also
Talk
had
of the room.
He also had vices.
Yeah.
So
just like Johnny Bravo.
100%. We'll go to break. We'll close out late night when we come back.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscape project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today. Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arens and Derek Pearson.
Yep, down the rabbit hole we went. Yeah, from the text line. Yeah, the Tim Donaghy, the NBA stuff. Again, we literally could do a series of sports betting scandals. Yeah. And it would take us from now until August to just get through one sport.
Yeah, I don't know. It's curious because that rabbit hole's endless. Because I don't know. You can, I mean, if you get to the bomb connections, I guess you found the end of the rabbit hole. But that's always
well. But
I don't know how deep the bomb always goes.
I mean, this affected. So Alex Karras, who was the prominent defensive tackle in the NFL, in the 60s, and most people know him as Webster's dad in the TV show, but they forget that this guy, he was the meanest, nastiest guy in the NFL, for 12 years. And they think of him as this soft-spoken, big teddy bear. Or you think of him as Mongo from Blazing Saddles, which is an odd kind of character. Like, it's hard to be anything but Mongo once you've been Mongo.
That is a tough one.
Mongo is just pawn in Game of Life.
I think it's one of my dad's favorite movies.
Could quote Blazing Saddles from tip to top. But you learn these stories. You go through there's this one betting scandal that happened. I need to go back and find it, but there was a story of a fighter who got killed in ring boxing. Got killed. And the punishment was so bad that this is why they had the athletic commission, right? And they noticed the weirdness of it during the fight, but you don't know.
That he wasn't just defending himself, or
yeah, I mean, well, it just
looked off.
It looked off, right? And the way the story was told, and there's a huge feature on it. The fighters, so it was the Panama Lewis was the trainer, and Panama Lewis was renowned because he Duran, Thomas Hearns, the Kronk Gym, all over New York City. And he was a bit of a seedy guy, but that being said, about a boxing trainer was not outside of the norm.
Great point.
But there was a fight between Louis Resto and Billy Collins, and Billy Collins was very popular, so they would put this fight on national TV. And Resto is beating up Billy Collins like nobody's business. This is at Madison Square Garden, so this is big time fighting otherwise. Well, they check the gloves after each fight, and they notice that Resto's gloves aren't as full as they should be. Right. And they weigh gloves before the fight.
Yeah, they still do today.
Right. But
took some weight out of the gloves.
Well, but on top of that, so imagine that there's less padding.
Yeah.
But they also put plaster of Paris. So when you wrap the tapes with the gloves, when the fighters, when the official is in the room, they check the tape before you put the gloves on. But then as sweat and the fluid starts, the plaster of Paris is activated. He's hitting the guy with plaster of Paris gloves. Killed him.
Holy
and then they
smokes.
they did an investigation. If you want to go, there's a great 30 for 30 on it, on Louis Resto and Billy Collins Jr. And they go back years later and they find Louis Resto and he finally tells the truth. Amazing. But, you know.
How many of those stories were still in here?
All of it based on bets, right?
Oh, man.
He was convicted of assault, conspiracy, illegal modification, which turned Resto's hands into weapons and enabled large bets on the underdog. Betting is bad.
Agreed.
Just going to say it. All right. We're good out of here. Friday's coming.
Yes, it is.
Enjoy the weather.
Hey there, this